Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In War of the Visions, let's talk about the upcoming raids coming soon to Global, numbers 9 through 14. And then some very nice people, they left some comments reminding me that it was about time to make this video again, so thank you for that. The last video ended with 9, and then this video is going to start with 9. And the reason for that is because we still haven't gotten the Final Fantasy XIV raid in Global, so I'll talk about it again here. And there are some new additions to the global game which will have an impact in this raid, so let's look at it here. And then I did want to use the Altema website to talk about the raids, because I feel like their raid coverage is better. But every time I would scroll down, there would be this gigantic pop-down menu which would cover half the screen. So screw you, Ultima, I'm going to use Game8 here. But the boss is weak to Slash, Dark, and Light. So we see all those kind of characters here. The dark characters were definitely more popular when this raid came around in JP. But the thing about the boss and then the two archers in there is that they had very high accuracy, and so evade was not very useful in that quest. And then some of the weaker builds, some of the weaker units would be like 1 or 2 punched. That kind of made the raid a little bit difficult. So I would probably recommend light slash units instead, but we'll see how to make dark slash units work in here as well. But we see Super Stern Vineta, Regular Stern, Sasayaki, Gafgarion. You could also use like Shadow Links. But Super Stern is great because he has multi-hit attacks, he has Light Slayer, and then he's a little bit tanky. He can take a couple hits. And then there's Vineta. She can use Steel Vision in order to kind of close the gap as she gets in range with her kind of a shorter range slash attacks. And then Regular Stern, he's just a dark slash attacker. But the thing about Super Stern and Regular Stern is that they have access to the Exorcist's vision card. If you pick that up, you can put that on one of them, and then you got 3-hit attacks suddenly for these guys. So they'll be some of the better chainers. And then Gafgarion and Shadow Links, maybe they could be sort of lower rarity alternatives, but they're not going to be as popular. They're going to be a little bit more difficult to join high-level rooms, because they will be much closer to being one-punched. But Sasayaki, she can be one of the best choices for this raid because she is tanky. You can raise her hate, you can raise her slash, and then her projectile resistance, and then draw the attacks away from your more fragile team members. So it was kind of common to see like high-level rooms with 3 Super Sterns and a Sasayaki. That was a good team. And then we have some light slash options. Ramza and Thancred are in here because they're a little bit beefy, and then they also have multi-hit attacks. And then one other thing that will change this raid in Global will be Dwayne. Dwayne's going to be pretty good in here. But tanky option, dark slash attacker, and then he also has the dark break, so that could even more improve the dark slash teams in here. Hopefully that does come to Global soon, so we can see how that plays out. Oh, there's a picture of the boss, finally. And then you can craft the Baal Bargonet, the armor. If you get the +5, you'll get +10 pierce resistance, which is still very rare and good. Okay, next up we have Siren. Where is that? There we are. But yeah, if you have Super Stern and Dwayne, and then in the future Regular Stern with EX jobs, they're all going to be able to break different things on the boss. And so you might be able to use them in just about any raid. So that might be something to consider. I just tried that out in the latest JP raid, the Pudding raid. I'll talk about that last, and that was really successful, so that was good. Okay, next is Siren. Again, can't find a picture of her on this website, but weak to projectile and lightning. And then other characteristics are resistance to element breaks, and then resistance to slash resistance breaks. So Orlandu and like Gilgamesh, you know, they might have a hard time in here, but I'm sure if you brought in like 4 Orlandus, you could sort of force it. Okay, but we see Nivlu and Federica, but really you could bring any projectile attacker. You might have noticed in the latest raid for after the Final Fantasy IV collaboration, but you could get through the raids pretty well with just one or the other weakness. I feel like the difficulty of the raids has gone down recently, so yeah, as long as you have either a projectile attacker or a lightning attacker for Siren, I think you could be fine. And then double gunners are especially nice because they have 4-hit attacks. Luasa will not be great in here because she has the element disadvantage. But we see Veneda with the double gunner subjob, and then Shuzelt, he has a ranger subjob. Okay, and then the rare raid is the golden cactar, weak to fire and magic. So we see a lot of magic users in here. But you can also use Luasa because again, you only need to address one or the other weakness. And then she also has a 4-hit attack. I didn't have any trouble joining high-level rare raids with Luasa. Okay, and then you can craft the Elven Mantle. This is nice because it has a dodge version. I think you get like a 20 dodge, and then if you get the +5, you'll get +10 pierce resistance again. This is the next UR equipment that I want to craft because it is an accessory, you can equip it on anybody, and then I don't have anything for pierce resistance at the moment, so this will be good to have. Okay, next was Golem. I remember people predicting that the Golem raid would come quickly because we got Halloween Leela quickly. I knew that was not going to happen. And he will be weak to wind magic, so we got Halloween Leela, Howlet, and then Helena. With Howlet, you're going to want to use more of the jamming thrust and then the Aurora, or whatever it is he has, rather than his Spellblade type attacks. And the rare raid is the Tonberry. That'll be more weak to fire and then strike, so that's why we see Darudo and Erude here. But again, you can just address one weakness or the other, which is why we see Adorado and Rain here. Rain is especially good because he has the 3-hit attack. Okay, and then as for crafting, we got the Ring of Protection. This one I don't like as much. It will give you +25 projectile resistance at +5, which sounds amazing, but it only lasts for 3 turns, so I don't like that. It does give you a lot of HP though, if you get the Vital version. So if you want to do a Drain Force build or something, this might work out for you. Okay, next we have the Diabolos raid. And this one was weak to Light and Slash. And I used Rob in here. Rob just continues being awesome. He was number 2 on my top investments, and he's still being great. But yeah, we see Rob and Edu Shireru here. You can also use Mariaru. She has a Spellblade, but those do count as slash attacks. And then I also used Vistral, that MR Thief. And this wasn't too bad. And then the rare raid is the Princess Pudding, weak to Dark and Magic. I saw a lot of Garbles. I saw a lot of just random magic users as well. Oh, and then here for the first time, I think we had, maybe it was last time as well, but here we have bonus units. If you use one of these units, you'll get extra rewards at the end of the battle. And for multiplayer, these are really good. Okay, and then for the rare item, you can craft the Galmia Karea. This will raise your magic by a percentage as the bonus ability. You will raise your magic by a percentage. At +5, it will raise it by 30%. At +4, it'll raise it by 20%. So this is a nice one, and a lot of magic users can equip that. Okay, and then the last raid, also have no idea when this is going to come to global, but we'll talk about it anyway. But this is the Holy Pudding. This was the Christmas raid. Okay, and then the Holy Pudding was weak to Earth and then Strike, but I just used my Dark Slash team. Again, I had Super Stern breaking defense, I had regular Stern, breaking the slash resistance, and that was fine. I auto-battled it until like 65, it was pretty doable. But we also see Aron and Naruto and Jiza and Mont. They all have strike attacks. So do Ramada and not Gilgamesh, but he can do the slash resistance down. And Mont, he was very popular actually. You want to use the tackle. I think that's in his subjob for Lord. That could do really good damage, so that was very cool. Again, Mont, one of the best investments in the game. And then there was the rare raid, again the Golden Cactar. You could use Water Slash. I used my Christmas Ramada. There were a lot of Titas in there. Tita was a handout unit, so he was the most popular. And I really didn't see any of these other characters at all joining other rooms. It was just Tita and Ramada, and that was fine. Okay, and here are our bonus units. And then you can craft the Santa clothes. You can make the dodge type, and then it also has bonus dodge. And you can put that on Vineta, people like that. So yeah, evade is not dead in JP. Okay, and that was the most current one in JP. So that was a look at the next possible 5 raids coming to Global. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.